and if it makes you uncomfortable, be always looking for that sort of edginess, that uncomfortableness. When you're uncomfortable is when you can get emotional, when you can make mistakes. If you don't have a really great idea of what you're wanting to do.
Okay, there it is.
And what the trade setup is and whether or not you want to take it, listen to that, okay? It's telling you about the confusion in your own mind, which is also likely the confusion in
I think I have
the
a sound
market
check.
and in everyone else's mind as well, right? So when that happens, that's part of what leads us to choppy trades, difficult trading conditions.
All right, good morning, everyone. Good morning.
Trying to force something that isn't really
all right, good morning, Terry.
Right?
Good morning, everyone. It's Tuesday, August 4th.
We've talked about some of the paradoxes of trading, you know, the Mark Douglas
plan, Manny.
Trading in the zone,
every morning
paradoxes,
we're going to
he
build
calls
up
out so well
before the open,
in his
identify
book.
the levels that are important to us, and understand what the market is trying to do before real money gets involved.
It's like that.
Trade live,
you have
break
to
down
be
the
able
markets in real
to
time. We educate and focus
sit
on
around
the decisions.
And be patient and wait for the if you call yourself a trader and you attach sort of, you know, inherently you're going to attach sort of some sort of egocentric, you know, mind trick to that, right? It's like, I'm a trader, so I need to be
all right,
trading.
team, let's build it out. All right, immediately what we're going to do is, as we do every morning, right? We're going to start off on our higher time frame. And what I want to point out here,
trying to force
just really quickly, looking at the higher time frame, is just we had this larger
for the most part. I overtrade.
It kind of it started on June 1st, and we oscillated in it for
trading.
You know, just about 2 months exactly. So this was June 1st, right around here.
Kind of.
June 1st was here. We came up, we started.
I don't think of it as I'm
high,
beating
and
you
since
or the
then
next
the market
guy.
went back into balance. And the question was this a rounding top, or was this going to form like a rounded top?
The way that I like to do that
and
is
they started trading lower,
stay small most
were we
of the
going
time.
To form a balance before another breakout?
Trading
and I think we're on the precipice of that
which is
decision right now. We can see that,
what I'm doing,
when this market pulled out from that 73.30 low, it just took no prisoners. The bears got smoked,
just to sort of get a sense of how it feels.
All right, so let's begin here on the 4-hour time frame.
We used to talk about
on the chart, and the reason for that is that I want
what that meant
just
was
use that as retrace.
You're trying to buy it.
The other thing that I want to point out on the higher time frame is we had this
quad
tool,
it comes down close to you, but you don't get in because they don't quite get to you, and then
distribution
kind of starts moving away from you, and then that sort of happens throughout
right
the
down
day,
to that 75% retracement.
It's a firm bid. The buyers are in control.
Found buyers
making the hard trade.
Sometimes in hindsight, the market is undervalued.
Making
so
the hard trade.
It seems like we had some news and we popped a little bit.
Trade,
let's just dig in here,
even if it's not quite.
All right, let's go build out. Let's build out our
perfect spot that you want.
Daily time
still
frame
might be
analysis.
The hard trade, the one that you need to make in order to.
All right, as we do every day, we're going to build out our most bullish scenario. We're going to talk about our most bearish scenario.
Then
we're also going to highlight a bullish trap trade and a bearish trap trade. I really want to get through this quickly because I want to get to a particular setup that I think may happen
bull market
close to the open. All right, guys. So obviously, you know, bulls are in Pamplona. They are on parade, and it is game on to the upside. Right? So immediately, what we're going to do is for our most bullish scenario, we're going to look at this prior high that came in at 75.50, and that's going to be our structural reference for any pullback. Maybe we get
you go to put your offer in, and they just fill it right away.
That came in at 76.47. So we can frame that at 76.45 to 76.50. Okay, so in our most bullish scenario, we're using that lower reference.
Higher, right? So like sometimes you can get a sense of just
back, it holds these references. Maybe comes down to 47,
which side
but ultimately it absorbs, and we start to see those candle prints signify to us that buyers are in control. And what that would look like is simply large body prints with closes near the top and wicks to the bottom.
With taking the risk.
That would be our most bullish scenario. Let's get that back up there again. Right? So we use the 76.47 to 76.50
in the risk reward
breakout, which is already materializing. We get the pullback,
the loss,
and then we go higher.
Trade doesn't work
for our bullish trap trade, right? What that's going to look like is the same scenario where we get this breakout, right? Let's just adjust this.
And you have to take it where you should take it.
High here quickly, so that we have an accurate measurement of what that is.
Confidence,
66,
preparedness, but also relaxation.
All right, so we get this pull, we get this breakout, right, where price comes up, it tests over this overnight high, and instead, what we see is the inverse of what we were looking for on the low side. What we start doing is we start getting these kind of prints, right? The market starts closing more to the low. We start to see every stab up leaves a wick, and at that point, we're looking for re-entry back into the overnight range, so back below 76.66. At that point, we're gonna look for 76.66 to act as resistance, and at that point, we're gonna entertain short scalp trades that get us down to this 76.47 reference, and then we can reassess at that point. Perhaps maybe we even get a true gap fill. Although the market is very, very bullish, that is a low probability trade. And
start with crude, they're open.
That's signaling what this one is to us.
That
is a trade down on a day like today. I'd probably pass on. All right, let's talk about the most
77.49.
Most bearish scenario simply has us opening on another drive.
I'm not sure what's going on.
So that we're going to move to the right-hand chart, and that has us opening, and we come immediately and we bust through those references we just outlined. So 76.47 would be the lowest point. We get below that 76.47,
the day is in,
enter yesterday's range.
Move that down.
So that brings us down to below 76.36.
What happens? We've already fulfilled.
At that point, we're going to gauge. We also know that when price reaches the settlement, 76.28, there's usually a responsive price. We're going to gauge that responsiveness, right? So we're going to gauge the strength of that buy. If that bounce materializes into 5 or 10 points, then yeah, somebody was home. If that buy just fizzles out, goes 2 or 3 points, and then immediately is retesting it again, gets another bounce, perhaps goes right back to below the settlement. At that point, what we're going to do is we're going to understand that our value area rules are in play. We're also going to take into account that this rally has really left poor structure beneath us, and that perhaps we need to test
so we can go around the horn on
to find where there could be a higher low form.
And just as a reminder, down at the bottom, I have my 1 minute charts
on the PS and value area high. And as
I do have a 1 minute chart on the CL as well.
76.38 as our structural references.
And so those are the time frames I trade off of. And then the 15 minute is
we have
my bigger time frame here.
Okay. Now let's outline
so on the 15 minute charts. I put these
what the bullish scenario or what the bearish trap trade may look like.
Okay, I start out by centering
on a day like today because the market's
right around there.
Is so bullish.
So you can see we made, obviously that was a great rally.
So for that, for the bearish trap trade,
all-time high here in the ES.
Below that settlement, again, just analyzing what we just said, using
through,
that reference of yesterday's
76.37 to
76.38. Again, and then what we're going to look for is
that level
a bounce or a reclaim of that overnight low, a reclaim of the settlement, right? With screens in which
I would expect there's still some more short covering
to positive, right? So if we got a pullback down there, this would go
just how
slightly red
much
here for a moment, right? And that would probably gain people's attention.
You can
right?
see
so
it
that would gain people's attention.
Couldn't sell off at all.
Rallied a bunch, and now it's coming down. Let me try to buy
so
it.
If it does kind of
at that point, we're going to look for a reclaim of the overnight low and yesterday's high. At that point, we can use the segment and overnight low as our reference for our risk markers and look for the continuation of the trend.
We'll see if that happens today.
Higher.
That could take
again. So the bear strap trade has us testing
got
below yesterday's high, below value area high,
later,
maybe even
Friday.
as low as below the settlement. Doesn't necessarily have to go there. It could just go into yesterday's range,
that's
value,
to be
test
aware
the value
of.
area, and then pop right back out.
But the big thing will be
for that long end
jobs number
to get us back into
so as we get closer to the jobs number, you could.
All right, guys. So the opening bell's about to ring here in one moment. That's going to outline our trade ideas going into the open. Just framing out what we can use based on our
assuming we're gonna want to be long oriented. Right.
One thing
market's open. I'm gonna update my orange
today's
line.
Date type
RTH
as
opening print.
Okay. And
so
ES
opened at 57.5.
This is an interesting one because this day can easily just materialize into something.
This is one of the things I do.
Typically on a cycle day one, what you're going to see is a move lower.
Use it to be able to
so the market is going to seek a tradable low. So we're going to see some sort of a liquidation break lower.
Say, hey, I think
again at this point, we just outlined some daytime frame references. If you have a trade plan and you have something that you're looking at that you use it aside from
5-day ATR print.
To make sure you have those numbers up on your
see
chart.
Where that gets us way
make sure
above.
That we're ready to execute on any support level that may be tested if in case we do get that liquidation break. All right, so the market just opened here. Let's get our opening print up on our chart, and we just
that's the assumption. Now if we start selling off and put in a hard move to the downside, then we can drag that
the high, new all-time high. Again, I'm more inclined, more focused on long trades.
See where it might be to the downside.
Market simply
you can also do the quick math in your head. Our current 5-day ATR on ES is 132 points.
A strong move that we saw
76.
yesterday. Maybe we get that.
65 down to 75.
Perhaps we get that AM low closer to a breakout where we come back in and test the overnight high. Not sure. Let's see how it materializes.
Be aware of and looking at. We do the same thing on the NQ.
I have to get my my guns loaded here.
Let's update our opening print.
Make sure that I'm trading the right account.
29, 234 3/4.
Right, so immediately here, what we're seeing is a quick open. Let me just get a different chart look. Am I lagging?
Okay, let's say the low of the day is
Can you guys hear me? Sound check. Let me know if you hear me.
This is the one really that has the most juice left in it, right? Because we're nowhere near all-time high.
Okay, cool.
So if the overnight low
guys, so look, where I'm anticipating that low to come in here again. S4L has
which is currently 827.5 points.
S4L has a
get us to 29.666.
That tends to play out often, and what that looks like on the chart is just look at this. This thing is just this is just Pamplona, guys. Let's just wait for a pullback.
If you remember Putty, the face
but this is just so awesomely bullish, man. So awesomely bullish. Look, I think it's important to point out today, right? That even with the market ripping like this,
there is the 50-day.
We have to understand the difference between a trade and an impulse.
29.482.
Participate in these moves.
Okay, so that's
we want to make sure that
we need to reclaim that and go higher.
We're not just executing a lucky trade because that can set
obviously
a false precedent for us. It can lead us to believe
that
a winning trade can misguide us in terms of having us think that was executed from something that is repeatable.
As opposed plenty of room to run here on that trade, and that's why I was saying last week from our all-time high to the low, the correction in the NQ was on my, you can see it on my sheet, was minus 12%, right? So I was saying, look, this could be an inflection point either way. We could continue down and sort of go into more of a bear market kind of thing, or this could be a perfect sort of garden variety pullback, and it could be the start of a next bull run. So it's still to play out, except for the fact that it sure looks like the start of the next bull run, and the market.
So let me know, did you guys catch anything over in the overnight session?
So game on.
I had two decent trades.
My interpretation is that everyone has to buy long all these assets again.
So fortunately enough, I can't. Now I want to make sure that I'm not too
inflationary pressures.
Price action. And if
how do you fight inflation? Own things.
The back through the
assets.
Print is an excellent opportunity.
So that's kind of, for me, I think the picture is pretty clear.
This market might just be
very disappointed really in the Fed not,
which is just going to
hiking,
make it a little, when it's going to test our patience, right? To make us wait for the afternoon, or maybe
situation
wait for
where the market,
that pullback.
Everyone says the economy is great, so why not hike?
Kind of go over some
at that point.
So
still kind of worried
just
to why
trade manage it, but
fortunately,
in the overnight session, I woke up to the bathroom at about 5 a.m.
Under the hood, I'm kind of in my own brain wondering.
I saw 76.30.
What else?
And oh my gosh, didn't I remember
yesterday's about something?
Because when you wake up in the middle of the night to use the bathroom, or in the morning to use the bathroom, the first thing a normal person does.
Maybe not. Maybe they'll be heroes because maybe this thing.
Nobody here is normal.
Starts to look bad with bad economic numbers, and they're glad they didn't hike because
to get back to it. So I know that this was a level we had yesterday.
How this will go, but
76.31.
But right now, you can't really fight it.
76.31. So that back test, and I decided to
try to short
and trade it. So I caught that. I got 76
for your setup
35, and then I had 76.38 that I added, and I wrote it up to this pop here. I got out just above this high. I captured.
For me, I just use a very simple
10 points, and then
sort of
I think it was 11 on the second, but I had to step out.
You're above the open. You're trying to put in a green bar on the day.
I didn't want to carry it with me, and I also wanted to have
you're trying to put in a red bar on the day.
In the books. So so that's how my
using
my morning
moving averages on the 1 minute and the 15 minute. If they're sloping up, that's an indication of a good trending.
All right, so breaking out here, let's take a look at under the hood.
Where
we have
pulled
cruise
back
coming off
to the
quite a
moving
bit,
averages.
5%. The VIX is
usually I go off the 1 minute, but sometimes
I want to take a look quick
go
look
off
here.
15 minutes.
Internals 1.3 to 1 positive on the NYSE, 2.9
and it's that simple. So if
Russell's lagging, but NQ is just
if personally I'm too
upside.
Too weary of going long up
there.
here.
Let me just get back and dial in on the trade
long
plan and see what that is telling me here.
That for me, I don't think the risk reward is there. That's fine. But I'd rather see the trade develop into a short signal entry.
If you guys are using the blueprint, right, then you know what we just
it's
hit.
Something that I can measure against my trading system and my trading plan, which allows me to have an accurate and true probabilistic and statistical outlook of what my trading plan is doing and whether it works and everything else, right? So in order for me to have short signal entry here,
let me just take a look.
I would need price. If we're looking here at the 1 minute,
I usually have all my
levels. I would need price to reject, come down in here hard,
sure why this one is
so that the 1 minute moving average, this one here.
So hey, heads up, another heads up. Am I lagging or I am getting this my
ideally this would be sort of all we get, and it goes back down and tests the previous all-time high, but sort of turtle soups that and breaks right through, right? And then you'd be ideally looking for pullbacks to short. You can short it right here and expect a retest
just get through,
of the
make sure I have my
or of that
trade plan here right.
Level down there at the 50. Yeah, you can do that. There's nothing really wrong with it if your trading setup and your trading plan has a setup that's legitimate.
No need for
me to rush. But if you just start fading this because your opinion is you think we're too high,
I know I don't want to fade this market. I think even if you would get a good scalp off of this level,
next thing you know, you're adding.
I'm just more. I would just rather wait.
Annoyed that you didn't just get long, and that it just snowballs, right? So.
And let me just make sure that I have my.
It's probably great advice for anyone new out there to just not worry about trying to be short. It's a really hard thing to do when markets go up so much more than they go down.
Those levels loading properly.
Only probably the main reason that I short a lot is because I started trading in 2008. And, there was so much great short side bear market action, but there was also incredible.
It's a little bit weird.
Face ripping.
Half of them are loading on my dome, and half of them aren't. So hey, team, you know what? Like
and stuff like that comes out, and if you don't know how to handle yourself and handle that risk, you just get crushed. So okay, focusing back over here on the YM.
Okay. So let me go back here.
We had an opening print of 54,001. So ding, 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 another level.
Watch this level here for a pullback.
Big round.
If you're tuning in, watch this level here. This is a resistance point right here that we have facing 76, 75. Although I do not recommend any fades at all today, guys. Let's just wait for this to convert as support, and then we can trade it on the other side.
So again, if we
I think that is the more prudent approach on a day like today. Right?
Move this
we don't want to start just fading moves just because we have a resistance point. Because what ends up happening these days is that any good resistance point is only temporary when the market wants to
very near where
it's just that's just a fact of the ES. So remember, be patient.
It's open.
Let things play out.
That's a tricky one to overcome because
especially when we have just
big move,
this type of move
when it
where
opens
it's just
up
very
near the
very
high of the
quick to the
move,
upside.
then sometimes it's sort of exhaustive and it's hard to get back up above and reclaim that style on your trading that you can use.
It can get stuck to the choppy here.
If you like being short, or you like the concept of having different trade ideas for different instruments, that's sort of a better way of doing it, in my opinion. Is to take, if you're a futures trader, maybe you take the 4 different markets, and instead of just shorting the ES or something, you just look at the 4 of them together and say, well, which is the weakest one of the 4? And then from a relative strength or weakness perspective, maybe you look for some short trades in that signal, but you stay with long trades on the rest of it.
All right, breaking out here higher, breaking out higher.
I mean, you're right. Absolutely. The last 15 years, I mean, practically, right?
Really strong move here.
You get these periods where the short trade pays, and it makes a lot of sense to be going with it. But then ultimately, when you get the reversal, that's the hardest part about trend trading, right? Is that
so our resistance comes in at 76.75 to 76.80.
You don't ever
We're in
really
that zone
know
right now
where the reversal is until after the fact. And so, you can continue to play those trend entries, And I guess the thing that I like to think about is
running very,
when you actually do get stopped.
All right, so let's just see what we have here. We're just basically we're just chopping around here.
Be in a rush to get back in, because here, especially with a trend entry, if it becomes a reversal, and especially from short to long,
around at the high, we have a high of 76, 73.50 in terms of confirming the move. So it's just everything under the hood. Perhaps we get a slight pullback here. Maybe this, what's another thing to consider is perhaps this resistance point can actually get us to
shorting at
an
the
entry.
very low of the move, and it
that would be nice.
And goes,
and then if we can get a pullback, so here's what I'd like to trade.
A few hundred points later, you're still trying to short, man. You just the problem with it is that when you don't shift to the long side, you miss so many good opportunities to then trade the things from the long side, right? So it's like, I'm not the kind of person to never tell people never to short. I just think that's like, if you're a trader, you got to be kind of thinking two ways, in my opinion.
Watch it carefully.
Yeah, it can be really hard to do.
Back up into that area again, testing that 76, 75 area.
So quick,
maybe it gets up to 76, 80. Let's watch it here closely. Okay, but this momentum is pretty strong to the upside.
They can really screw you.
Nothing for me just yet.
Back up. So
I just can't. Let's just see if I can.
Same thing. I just updated the opening print, so we open back up above 3,000, 2003.
That's pretty low probability.
Same kind of thing. We can just update this to reflect if we think that the low of the day is in.
Here.
Boom, and the RTY ATR has gone out pretty far now. It's like 55 points.
I don't think that much stands a chance with these bulls. These bulls are out.
Some of these things,
and they
like,
are
not
exploding
only
to the upside.
Has it been a big move?
So you see, like so here's a good point that I want.
They've also really
so right away when I'm even before I'm thinking about entering a trade, I'm always thinking about, okay, where am I wrong? What is the risk? Before I enter a trade, I want to know four things. Where am I getting in?
Another big
where am I wrong?
Jobs number on Friday.
Where am I taking profit?
You should expect that there will be.
Doesn't make sense that I can get to my profit
position square,
my profit objective.
Again,
is there anything standing in the way?
Tuesday, it may,
context.
It might be
what is the day's
towards later
tone and tempo feel like? Those are the questions that I want to answer before I get into the trade.
I mean,
sometimes I've done the work the night before in the market blueprint.
Sometimes
I do it while the price is approaching a level or while it's actively trading. Either way, the thinking happens.
Yes, and YM. Right, I think YM.
All right, so we traded up to 76, 76,
and
50,
we have
13 contracts traded at the high.
Declines only
and now we're just kind of
200.
stalling out a little bit.
And so far, a range from 100 to 340.
Even though
that's not
the momentum is just
overly impressive, right, here for what we're doing. But that could all change here.
Let's just see if we get that
with
pullback,
NQ now.
We have traded up to that high, and then what
trying
happened
to reclaim this 50-day here, right? We say
kind of
482 and a half, so it's not quite there, but we
just traded 13 contracts.
Certainly wants to levitate and at least test that, and likely
continuation of that.
It tests it and triggers more buying.
We have a resistance point here. It is a valid setup for me.
That's the scenario I expect to play out. YM and RTY showing some selling.
Hopefully, maybe this setup is this resistance point is what gets us to our entry, our long entry.
Too different than what we've been seeing.
It's another way of looking at it.
There's been these rotations, and so if they sell YM and RTY, they could still just keep.
One of the more important things is like what I want to share is just the thinking about what goes into the. There are different ways of analyzing and trading
20
a plan.
minutes.
Like you don't have to devise a plan overnight.
Doesn't seem like huge, crazy volume,
elaborate decision-making process
quite yet.
Or you can simply use a tool like I'm using
pretty
here,
mixed
right?
board
where it's just testing so
between
your resistance and it's justifying.
Green and red
can I take the trade
on the S&P 500?
So if I got long right here at 76.75, where's my stop and where? And
you could have a little bit of a
reasonably make my target.
Summer trade that's always what I want here in August.
But the idea is always to plan first and click second.
Crazy summer, at some
point, because impulse trades can give us a false sense of confidence, especially with the ones that win, the ones that turn out good for us. Most impulse trades don't happen because traders lack knowledge. They happen because price starts moving, and
at some point they're going to start doing that here in August, and these are going to become.
And I think that's probably the larger issue
difficult
that
trading sessions.
Understanding and kind of
doesn't
having that
suit me great
mindset
because I don't
says,
like.
Hey, there's going to be another
a
trade around the corner. If I'm just patient enough, I'll be able to hone in on a good opportunity.
I'd rather watch and see what
process
than read the market. So.
I
think when you go into the summertime,
right? and also that will help me build some skill.
And in general, I think it's pretty
carry forward with
awesome for the people
that's
that
when,
are really good
that's
at
when
trading.
Discipline starts becoming you.
Have a really comfortable idea of how you want to
the opposite of that
open and then do it. And
is when
you can be done.
Is when discipline starts to disappear, when we start being impulsive, when we start just taking trades out of nowhere. So. Getting a little pop here. I'm not sure if that was news generated. Let's get live squad going
just go
on here
enjoy
first. I can see. I
had to look outside because it's really smoky right here right now from forest fires. But all right, so we did have a little bit of a spurt right there.
I may have to at a certain
checking over at things like the VIX. See what the VIX looks like.
I might just go off for like 30 seconds.
Very interesting, right?
To
just
reboot.
Pull up the VIX chart right
to
now.
Relaunch.
Okay. We opened 15 and a half.
I want to get.
And we've traded straight up to 16. Okay, so it's a curious thing if you see the market make all-time highs and the VIX be moving up, right? We'll see if it follows through. And again, I don't follow the news all that well, so I don't really know what's going on in the world because I don't, what I concern myself the most with is price action. But again, that's something to kind of have your caution flags on is.
Yeah, am I lagging?
These highs, you're not getting huge confirmation in the advanced declines, and you're not getting confirmation in the VIX, right? So what you can, if you can't stomach the idea of paying up for long entry up here, then you can start formulating what the market might look like in a scenario. Things like,
watching this area like a hawk. I mean, if we break out here without even an area pullback, it might just be one of those days where
it tested that pretty important level. It didn't really get through.
In the meantime,
I think it was like
a better opportunity.
212 and a half or 213. It needed to
I'd like to just quickly shut down trade chat.
It's now failed back down to 210.
See if I can get
211 here, which should be some support.
Hang tight for a moment. I'll be back in 30 seconds. Let me just see something else here.
In the meantime, I missed some good entries here off the 1 minute.
Be right. Just give me 30 seconds, team. I'll be right back.
Moving average sloping up. We're above the open.
Yeah, this is
pull back to the moving average. A nice tight stop, and boom! It just gave you 15, 16. Could be quite a lot more in terms of upside squeeze, right? If you check on the sheets, you can look at my levels and just try to figure out what could there be up here that might be worth trading against. And the problem always with all-time highs is there's not a lot, right? There's just these pivot numbers basically to look at, or you could look at like Fibonacci extensions. You do have an R2 number at 76.99, and you have a weekly R2 at 76.73 1/4. So look at where that support comes in perfectly at that weekly R2 level.
All right, I'm back. Can get
now
for that long. I'm
on
back.
The NQ, we just tested and so far are holding 50-day moving average at 482.
See if that cleared up some of this cash.
RTY is now exploded back to the upside and making a new high on the day.
All right, well, let's just see what happens here. I can already feel it's
crude trading down into the 75 handle.
All right, so if anything, one thing I want to focus on today is, hey, we are long focused, right? Oh God, look at this move! It's always easier in hindsight, right? Just buy the open.
Nvidia holds. It looks like it kind of wants to hold because we're seeing the Mag 7 kind of go bid again here.
Yeah, it gets testy, but look, the idea is we just need one good trade, and the more the day goes on, the better we'll get an idea for the tone and tempo.
Got the bond market is bid.
It will happen. It always does.
And that's kind of what I was referring to with the Fed and Warsh and stuff. Why they didn't hike? If we start to see the bond market start to rally hard and interest rates start to drop really hard over the next few weeks or something, don't be surprised. You heard it from me that the Fed might have known something, and they might be more worried about recession than they are inflation. That was my original response, was what the hell are they worried about? This does not make any sense to me at all. So we'll see. We've got a lot of time until that next meeting. All right, let's see if I can get into something. All right,
let's just see what we got here. Let's just take a look at the chart, see if that gives us any idea or any edge. Oop. Oh, look at this. Okay.
No. So I'll need to go into this one.
All right, 3 minutes to the jobs report, guys. Heads up.
Yeah, we've got our JOLTS data and ISM coming out in a couple minutes here. Factory orders. I guess not. I guess it was ISM yesterday. I can't remember. Oh, ISM's tomorrow. That's right.
Yeah, I didn't have
that. So okay. JOLTS and factory orders coming in here, and the economic.
First shot at a pullback here. It's probably where aggressive traders are getting in.
About 2 minutes.
Just 76.
Look at this rejection in Nvidia,
76.75
right?
to 76.80.
Just swept right down through that support at 211. Now trading 209
focus on.
It might have eyes to close the gap.
But again, I just want to be very cautious,
especially
just before news drops. So
jammed this up and then reversed pretty hard on this little 1 minute bar.
You can always probe it, like if you trade, you know, if you're one contract trader, switch to micros, you know, buy 5 micros. I picked up more. I'm gonna pick up one more. I have one at 76.
In the NQ,
you just traded there.
You know,
I just clicked it.
We could
I'm gonna
be poised to at least go back down and test the open again. This also might have just been the only chance for us to get out. If you were short, right? So the long trade could have been right there. It was already right down here.
Don't try this at home.
And if the positioning is still too long or too short, they
want to take a quick exit on this.
But like I said, you know, if you're too
look at this, it's lagging again.
You think it's gone too far, too fast, or something like that, then that's fine. Just look for the divergences or look for the things that set up for you the way you normally trade from the short side,
this
right?
It's not moving right.
Let it show you first what you want. If you want to be short here, you want to see the long traders feel like, oh shoot, I missed the top. You need this action not only to flush a lot of the people out, but also as everyone else to say, okay, I need to take exposure off on the next rally. Look, Tesla's on its low of the day.
Again, this is a play on that setup number 6 level, converting it to support. I want to see if it converts on support on the first touch. Respecting the trend, respecting the momentum. So it is a valid trade for me, but I'm not really
into oil. That's another thing you can use. If you start to see bonds roll over and start selling off again,
like barely responsive. $76.87, $76.91, the target.
Let me see if I can get this configured here. You guys do a lot of you use?
Yep, I know. So I can see it, Terry. I know. That's how bad the chart is. The chart is lagging, but
a lot of you guys use Rhythmic.
I have my execution here, and I can see that it's coming into that fill now. So as soon as I exit this trade, I'm going to clear out the cash and relaunch it again. So I'm just monitoring it here very closely. I don't have anything in the way of this on terms of the upside.
Well, for those of you that use Rhythmic and or are interested in the prop firm space, Rhythmic is one of the data feeds and platforms you can use.
Turn this one on. I just think name the traders. I'm just asking.
I can show you a couple features on it that are pretty cool. Here's the JOLTS number. Job quits 3.2 million. Expected
let's see. Got the target. Got the target. So. Got the target. So plus 90 on 92. That was plus 10 points.
Minus 0.3%.
I'm still laggy here.
That's sort of a miss.
Really still laggy.
Month over month, they were expecting that to be up. Previous, it was down though, so it's sort of an improvement anyways. X transportation still down. Job openings about in line, 7.35 million. Again, I don't know what any of that means, just it's how the market reacts to it. Advanced declines have moved out to new highs again, so we're now trading at 500. So that's a little better.
Sorry for the technical difficulties.
You know what I was saying before.
Not much I can do. Let's see
what I was going to show on the Rhythmic platform.
What else I have going on here?
This is pretty cool stuff.
What else can I shut down?
you can go in here to your trader dashboard where it lists your accounts.
Always have a backup trading.
And you can select your account and right click on it. View risk parameters. And then there are 3 tabs in here, one for your FCM, one for your IB. And then you can click on the one that says risk parameters.
Go ahead and shut this one off as well.
And so this is really cool
as much as I can on this.
I can go in here and set
what I'm asking of Ninja,
risk
what I'm asking my PC to do,
sort of program
processing all the
for my own personal trading
strategies
style.
running.
I have an auto liquidate feature that I
have
enabled.
3 different strategies.
And
right now, let's see if I can tighten these up.
And I can use and set multiple criteria here.
I am not going to stick around for very long on this trade. However, I am going to try to manage it as best as I can.
And profit limit of 3,500, and then a limited trailing minimum account balance.
I'll probably take a dynamic exit on this. Like if I see some high, I need a reason to exit.
If I lose $1,100 on the day, I'll get liquidated out and locked out.
Get up to like a high tick or something. If price starts to stutter, then I'll just click close.
But this will act as a trailing stop for me. If I make over 1,100, that will lock me in so that I don't have a winning day that becomes a losing day. And then simultaneously, if I make $3,500 on the day, it'll just take me out and lock me out of the system. So it's kind of a cool way of doing
so I still have plenty of room to run on my ticks,
What happens is
momentum oscillators are losing a little bit of steam, but that's going to happen on a trend day.
You can either have it ignore your open P&L.
I have a short-term one-to-one resistance at 76,
sort of read your open
and 76.99.
And then
so
I
being
also
the
have
state of everything that's going on here,
it'll just auto liquidate me at 12 minutes after the cash close.
Let's see if I can
so what's cool is you can set these or change the parameters each day however you want.
I need to give up a position.
But then you can set them, and once you click OK and apply, as soon as you put in your first, as soon as you get in your first position, then those parameters are set for the day and they can't be changed for
what is that session. Top 1-to-1? 99.75. I guess that would be the ultimate target, right?
Managing your risk.
98.75.
Differently than just using stop orders.
Why am I not? Why is that not? Something is not right here.
We're up at our R2 level
76.95, and it's not. It's not in my dome.
Figure.
Yeah, everything is.
We reclaimed the 50-day on the NQ.
I have 15 points in this. If I don't get up to that, I'm going to try to take it off.
Nvidia still
momentum higher, 98.75.
Not participating. I mean, it's up 1.7%.
Like an 18-point gain.
So it is
and then I have to
participating
relaunch Ninja Trader. Ninja. Yeah. Oh, really? Okay, that happens with Ninja Trader.
VIX is still moving higher.
I've seen it before where what you don't want to do is relaunch it because you might not get back in.
Just tells you this could be a little fragile.
But fortunately, I don't only use Ninja Trader. I do have 2 different data feeds. This is the importance of having more than one data feed. So I have Ninja on one, I have this one on another. I'm monitoring, and I have Thinkorswim.
It's also when you have a nice.
But I did shut Thinkorswim down, thinking that was leading to the lag.
Uptrend slope like this, it can also be a very.
And I always have my trade plan printed out in front of me every day. So.
And because the NQ still has a way to go to
also very important.
All-time high.
Just getting some, just getting some good through here.
That could just mean we really have a lot of legs to go here still. So you can.
Gosh, I hate for just
look. If, it's hard to do the 8
I
it gets or concepts to try to understand that, okay, this thing might be nearing its end.
Okay, got it back.
Look for the capitulation, right? So we got down to 200 upticks. Now we're back up to 730. Look for a reading of like 1,300 upticks.
We're going to look at,
something like that, and you could have a really good exit into that. And then you might still want to try to get long again on any pullback, but it at least gives you a moment to just relax, take your profit, and move on to the next trade. So here's the low of this bar is 29.25. The high of that previous bar was 30.25. I'm looking for 1,300 upticks. We've got 800 reading on the advanced.
Going to go through that extension again in just a moment.
Box.
Hang tight.
ES still has about 30 more points to go before it hits its ATR box, but it might not hit it. Sometimes they can take a little time coming in. Oh, now you've got a little 1-minute doji bar right here. Oftentimes this can still be a continuation pattern where they take out the low of this bar and then they still buy it on the upside. So the low of the bar is 29.25. And if they don't take out the low of this bar, they can really explode it to the upside off of these 1-minute dojis. So the low of this new bar is 29.5. You've got 13 seconds. Let's see what they do. Now, I might just take it off right here. I do want to move my stop. So looks like I might have missed it. We'll see. Sometimes they can still buy these. Yeah, I think I missed it, but I never really got that super extreme tick reading that I was looking for. And sometimes you don't get them. Sometimes you don't get exactly what you're looking for. And then it starts moving lower, and then it's like, uh-oh, now all the longs have to be wondering if they're stuck. So the high of this previous candle was 24, right? Can the 24 level hold? I mean, again, here's the VIX. This very curious situation. Now the VIX is making a high on the day. 16.28. So I'm not going to hold this for too long. I really want to see if this gives me one more chance, say at 29.25, that could be what we get. But let's watch the ticks. They got down to about 150, and now can they reverse again or not? You got 40 seconds till the close of this 15-minute candle.
All right, so are we going to get another pullback here? I think that's the question. So let's just see again, if you're flat and you're looking for a trade and you're entertaining, hey, how can I get in on this move? Well, we already know that the 9-period EMA is definitely acting as support on the way up.
So it's a question of have all the shorts
we had
covered,
the crossover and the pinch right here. Okay, so the faster
all
9-period,
that they need to purchase
the
or not.
9-period exponential moving average crossed over the longer 21-period. We had the pullback.
I'm looking for one more thrust,
which held, and so super supportive of this move higher.
To capture my
can continue that
30
trend.
handles if I can, but I might not get it all the way back up there.
So again, if we get another pullback there, that could be a good area to assess whether you want to try to participate in this move.
Advanced declines, I mean the ticks, can give me one final big push here.
Let's measure out the risk. Say, okay, let's
they can. That was
so right now we have a pullback, right? Okay.
So that level was
that you entered right
good.
Here currently at 77.27, and you entered that last period candle as your stop. Okay, so that's a 3-point risk. That's manageable, correct? Right? Yeah, I think that's manageable. Although the probability of success are probably, I don't know, not the very best, but we're just highlighting it here. We're just trying to use some examples on how to manage or quickly plan a trade. And you can see here that in order for that trade to work out, that to get a 2R reward to get a 6-point reward, you need to trade up to 77.33, and that would be based on risking 3 points at the low of the prior 5-minute candle. Maybe you want to give that a little bit more room to the downside.
I'm getting pretty close to just getting
not hug it so tight.
Here.
So you move your risk down to 77.23, which extends it to 4 points, and then you need to get a target of 77.35 in order to say, hey, yeah, this trade makes sense. This trade has a good risk reward target on it, although again, as I mentioned yesterday, the hardest thing to do on a trend day is to trust it. A better idea would be, hey, let's just wait until we get to that 9-period moving average, because we know that, hey, that's where the support has showed up already twice today. Again, after let's just get back here. After the rollover, we'll just review it quickly here. So on this move higher, we had our 9-period moving average crossover, our faster moving average, the 9-period EMA crossed over right here in this area. And that was roughly at about 6 a.m. this morning. And since then, it's been very supportive of this trend move. We had one pullback here that held. Okay, another one that tested the 21. And since then, we closed above it. We had an impulsive drive higher on a 5-minute basis. And then we pulled right back to it, and it held as support.
Could still go higher, I guess. But
let's see if we can get another test of it. And whether it continues to be
supportive
and
to get nervous.
Signal higher prices. See if it supports the trend.
At some point, right?
Again, the idea is just to have some type of a planning mechanism, always measuring that risk to reward to see if that will fit your account balance, and if that is a trade that you want to take.
And there's definitely some
a trade that you want to assume the risk on.
Look at crude though, trading back down to near its low. So that could be a part of all of this as well. That the bonds are bid, crude is sold off.
Coming into the 11:30 time frame. We're going to round out our morning session here very shortly.
Right now are 3:39. I have it on a 1-minute chart. Yeah, I probably missed my chance there. That's what Mom always said. Don't be too greedy, guys.
Another nuance of trading these exponential moving averages is, so this moving average right here, you can see how it's trailing one bar behind. Okay, so this is another nuance. If this moving average, if this move continues higher, this trend line will, this moving average will form this way. And there's a slight possibility that in 10 or 15 minutes, we're looking back on this like, yeah, that could have been a touch. It could have been another supported buy. So in strong markets, that's something that we want to definitely kind of use our imagination to guide us a little bit, or to kind of imagine imagine how the chart might form based upon what it has done already.
There goes RTY out to new highs.
Well, got a little news pop there based on the yen news. Oh, wow. So Iran is allowing the EU to clear the Strait of Hormuz, clear mines out of the Strait of Hormuz. Again, this is just going to continue to propel this move higher. these are great markets, right? This is often when the guy, some of the traders I've traded with for a while will have recognized when I say that these are the markets where you get to pad your account. These are the markets where you really want to add the size and take the trades and let them work while you're in them, so that you can build an account balance, pad your account in terms of building up a good, strong balance, so that you're prepared for those rainy days, for those days that the market may not be as one directional or as large a range as it is today, where we have to be a little bit more decisive. These are the kind of those markets where we want to be prepared for. Sounds like positive news to me. Again, you guys are listening to that live and direct. Let me know if any of you guys have scalped it long, if you've taken any scalps long. I think they've been fairly easy for them to work out. So, and again, just going back to what I said earlier, one thing that I'm writing about on tomorrow, I should be able to release it in tomorrow's Substack, is that when the ES starts trending, that's usually when you look to build that account balance. And why? Because trending markets remove a lot of back and forth guessing. The market begins rewarding traders who respect the direction and can sit on their hands and allow an opportunity to unfold, instead of constantly fading it. And that's another reason why the planning matters, why planning is so important to trading. If you've already decided how you'll participate in the trend, how you're going to approach the day, you're much less likely to hesitate or to chase or once it begins. Let me just check and see if we can get Philly D in here. This is what Bo is doing. Again, so here, guys, let's just take a look at that, right? Look, we just had the same thing I just discussed. Look how these candles formed, right? At the time, we weren't really touching that moving average, and look, it went sideways and it touched it, and now it's acting as support. It's moving higher. All right, just tracking this higher, guys. It just keeps working higher. I'm just keep scalping it a little bit, couple of ticks, couple points at a time. Taking a couple of points out of it as we go. Quick ins, quick outs. Here's another little scalp. Didn't realize I thought I was on the Super Swim. Looking for a 42 target here for a 10-point gain. Again, just taking the little base hits as they come. 42.50 on the exit. See if we can get it. Really no way to tell where to take them off. This thing just keeps grinding higher. Narrow miss on that target. Going to go ahead and wrap it up in about 7 minutes. Any questions, let me know. Post them in the chat. Let me know what you got. Again, want to thank everybody for your support. Thank you for tuning in. All right, looks like it's coming back in on me. So I'm going to go ahead and take one off here for a 3-point gain. I'll take that. Why not? Oh, looks like the ad is a bit of a wash here. So yeah, certainly want to close that out there. Why not? Hey, but that, you know what? That's going to call it for today's session, team. Again, I want to just leave you the closing thought. If anybody can have a good, one trade, my goal is to recognize the type of days we're in, because when ES starts trending, those days are the days I want to pad the account, not because I'm predicting every move, but because I already have a plan coming in and I just want to participate in one good trade a day. So thanks everybody for your support, and go ahead and have some lunch. Delphine asked, a pullback could come now. So this is the first. I would only treat a pullback, Delphine, as a buying opportunity, not as a short. So we've been tracking this moving average here, and this is interesting, right? Because this has the possibility of printed as a negative outside bar on the 5-minute. But I think that on these days that those could be traps, right? So I just think that any type of move lower, it would just be a buying opportunity. However, let's take a look at the plan, and we know we are in that window right now in the back end. So hopefully we can get a pullback into which to buy. Yep, I would definitely look at look at it as a buying opportunity. I would not want to short anything at all. It's just the money's too easy on the upside. It's just these are the days where you pad your account and you take the, you take the low hanging fruit. And these signals right here, like these candle signals, negative outside, 5-minute bar, those are just traps on days like today. Again, so thanks everybody for tuning in. I'm going to go ahead and go grab a bite to eat. Thanks again for your support. We'll see you again tomorrow. We'll be back on in the morning to do it all over again. Have a good one, everyone.